The play wasn't what we wanted it to be, and I mean it's a credit to the defense. I mean they came out and they kicked the offense's rear in that drill. So it's that's what showed up to me. They wanted a little bit more. Well, I think they're all successful from the degree of we're learning, and so just because we're not getting the yards on offense or giving up touchdowns on defense, I mean we are getting better as a team on both sides of the ball, all three phases, including actually special teams every day as well. So I don't think there's any barometer or mark. I think we'll know a lot more about our team when we get these joint practices going too. I think that'll really tell us a lot, because I think for a healthy team over the course of camp, you kind of feel the defense win the day one day, and then the offense bounce back the next day, and you kind of have those even battles. That's what you want from good teams.
All right, so that was Ben Johnson kind of talking about reports that how sloppy the Bears offense is, and like I said before, it's just to the point where what do you expect him to say? That's just serious. What do you literally expect him to say? It's not been a lot of good reports out there about the offense being good. Excuse me. But yeah, it's not been a lot of reports about them beasting on offense or, them doing a bunch of good or whatever situation may be. But it takes time. At the end of the day, a lot of those defensive players, they've been playing together. They've been together and they've been a unit. Yes, the lingo is a little bit different, but anybody ever played football before, one thing that you do know for sure is that the defense is usually always ahead of the offense. So defense is always usually ahead of the offense, and that's pretty much, been most of my experiences, that the defense get together, and then the offense down the line, they eventually do get it together. So I don't think it's time for panic. I mean, then at the end of the day, you start seeing some things come out about the Lions offense not transitioning well with John Morton. You hear reports saying, well, it's not looking as good as we thought it was going to look. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. But at the end of the day, the player's saying something different. But ultimately, people can say what they would like and what they won't like. But time will tell. Time will tell. That's one thing we can say. We can sit here and we can go back and forth about a lot of stuff, but only time will tell. When we used to the Lions getting off to a slow preseason start, but people just thought Ben Johnson was just gonna come in and be this magic pill that we take this magic pill. You know what I'm saying? Everything is gonna be okay. Like he's just gonna fix stuff, and stuff take time, so you got to be patient. You can have a team. You can have a really, really talented football team, right? The team can be amazingly talented, but if you don't have the leadership and if you don't have the coaching staff to put them in position to play, make make changes and put them in the right position to make plays, then for the most part, it was talent going away. So yes, it's gonna take time, and it's not helping that you got Caleb Williams throwing a fucking pissy fit. That helps nobody that he's literally throwing a hissy fit. So he must understand that as well too. So not only do you sit here and you have a quarterback that's learning, but he just don't really have the temperament of a quarterback. He's too emotional, and not in a good way. So not only does this man have to, kind of like get his confidence up and show him, how to carry yourself, how to be a quarterback while learning how to play quarterback in the league, you have to mentally reconstruct him with Jaden Daniels, who's a little bit older, a lot more mature. His temperament doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? His temperament doesn't change. No matter how high, how low it goes, he's even killed. And that's something that Caleb Williams is just going to have to learn. So if it doesn't work out, Chicago fans can't sit there and say, oh, throw Ben Johnson to the Wolves. We got all this talent, and Ben Johnson should be at it. It's no magic pill when you have a quarterback that's young as he is and you have a team that's like them. Yes, they talented on paper. I feel that the Tennessee Titans was just a quarterback away. But the expectations, in my opinion, ain't for them to win the Super Bowl this year. It ain't for them to even be remotely good this year. That's not the expectation for them. You know, let's call it what it is. That's not the expectation. Say what you like, but that's not it. And I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have a tremendous amount of talent. A lot of times it's just the lack of leadership. And one thing I like that Ben Johnson said, he talked about all three phases. He's not looking at it, or at least he's not speaking on it as offensive coordinator. He must speak on a team as a unit. He must speak on the team as a unit. He must speak on the team as a unit. So don't forget it. So that's another good sign that he's literally speaking on this team as a unit. It's not, it's just offense. Remember Steve Spurrier came to the Washington Redskins back in the day, and all he was talking about was offense. And hey, it's more than one side of the ball, homeboy. It's more than one side of the ball. Home slice. So that's where he failed at, and Ben Johnson seemed like not to make that mistake, but it's going to take time. You hear them saying, well, they're having issues with pre-snap read. I mean, yeah, they've been in camp for 2 weeks. They had OTAs, and those are some things you should be able to get together. Those are things you should be able to get together, factually speaking, in T-shirts and short camp. There's OTAs, mini camps. I agree. Those are things that you should be able to have down pat in mini camp and camp and stuff of that nature. So them struggling at this point, and last year, it shouldn't be too different in Lango. I don't say Lango should be a lot different, but it shouldn't be too different as far as most of those guys are saying, yeah, they added Jonah Jackson, a few other guys over there or whatever, but we'll see what happens. But hey, man, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link in the description. You follow me X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Find me on Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. Just hit the first link in the description. The link tree. You can follow me everywhere. Peace.